So you got your PCS orders and you're wondering, I want to buy a home, but should I buy a property sight unseen or should I just wait till I get there? Well, in this video, I'm going to give you the full playbook on how you can purchase a property remote, sight unseen, some of the pros and cons, what the step process looks like, and how to make sure that you do it right so you don't buy yourself a lemon. So stick around to get all the details. See you on the other side. What's going on, guys? So like I mentioned in this video, I do help a lot of clients. I would say about 80% of my clients are service members who are PCSing out to Hawaii. They have their duty station out here in Oahu, and they are looking to purchase a property and leverage that oh so sweet VA loan. And a lot of times they do find themselves kind of in the middle going, okay, well, should I buy the property before I get there, or should I buy it while I'm in the process of getting there, or should I buy it when I arrive? Well, there's some things you need to understand. We're gonna go through the full playbook, but before we jump into that, let me quickly introduce myself. If this is your first time here, my name is Patrick Long. I'm a licensed real estate agent out here in Hawaii and been helping buyers, sellers, investors, and a lot of service members like yourself with their real estate needs. So if you have any questions about real estate, about PCSing out here to Hawaii, feel free to reach out to me. I got a link down below where you can book a discovery call with me or one of my teammates. And you can actually book a day and time that fits for your time zone. Because if you're PCSing out here, you might be in San Antonio, North Carolina, Alabama, Korea, wherever you are, we're here to assist you and within your time zone. Now, with that being said, let's jump into the playbook and all the things you need to know when it comes to buying a property sight unseen out here in Hawaii. Okay, now before we go through the playbook, let's lay the groundwork why this may be a better option for you, and then also somewhat of a hybrid solution that I would suggest. Now, it's super important to understand that there's a lot of misinformation out there. There's a lot of information, whether it's online or when you talk to people, that they say, oh yeah, when you get here, you can always extend your TLA. You can always extend how long you are forced into actually having to live on base, rent a place, or buy a place. You can extend it, but that is completely incorrect. Depending on what branch you're in, we have found that different branches offer different flexibility, but if you're in the Army, I'll tell you right now, they're the most strict. You get 30 days, no ifs, ands, or buts. It's very rare that we can extend past that. So for my Army service members, I would highly suggest that you definitely get the process started and possibly get something under contract prior to you getting boots on the ground, because you're only gonna get 30 days, a normal transaction's 30 to 45 days. And if you land here, you find a property, you put it under contract, your timer starts as soon as you get here. So you got to keep in mind that that 30 days is going to come and go. Then you're going to have to pay out of pocket for that hotel, for an Airbnb, or what have you before you actually close on that property. So that is just a huge stipulation. I find that the best solution as we go through this playbook is reach out to a real estate agent like myself. You can have a conversation about exploring the option of purchasing a property, get an idea of the numbers, the area, start to understand it. And we're going to go through what that process looks like, but start with a conversation before just waiting and saying, hey, I'll look into it when I get there, because you're not gonna have a lot of time to actually close on the property. Could cost you thousands of dollars and money out of pocket, which we don't wanna do. So that's the first important information you need to know, but let's now jump into the playbook of what the process would look like, more or less the timelines you wanna facilitate. Okay, the first thing we're gonna get into is timelines. So again, best case scenario, as soon as you have an idea that you most likely are going to get orders, you do not have to have orders in hand, but as soon as you feel that you're definitely gonna be stationed out here, that's a good time to give us a call, right? It's never too early. I've had clients call me when they're a year out, 8 months out, 6 months out, and we just start opening up a conversation and seeing if we're even a good match for one another. But it's really a good opportunity for us to have a conversation, educate you on the market, seeing if buying a home is even a good option for you, and helping you explore the different areas that might fit what your wants and needs are. So my first rule of thumb when it comes to timelines is it's never too early to have a conversation and just open up a conversation to see what your options are. Now, moving forward, if you really want to put the tires to the pavement, when is it definitely, if you're going to push it and say, no, I don't want to talk to anybody anytime soon, when is the best timeline schedule that would fit, hey, let's get rocking and rolling? So let's start with that. So as soon as you believe that you're about 90 days out from getting your orders, that's, I would say, really the best stress-free time when you want to actually have a conversation with an agent. So usually what we'll do is we'll jump on a call, we'll kind of discuss your wants and needs, we'll get you linked up with a local lender so you can explore rates, see what your monthly payment is, and then of course, see what that monthly payment actually reflects when it comes to purchasing power. And then we match the two of what your wants and needs are when it comes to commute time, size of home, type of home, things of that nature, and your purchasing power. And then we give you suggestions on what the best places, best areas are based on what's available on the market. Now, of course, some of those places will come and go, but this will give us a strong idea of the different areas that we want to focus on. Now, Once we get to about the 60 to 45 day mark from you actually getting boots on the ground, this is when we're generally going to be going out in the field on your behalf and actually exploring some of these properties that we shopped and saw online. So me and my partner, we're going to put a search together for you so you can see all the things that are on the market that fit your wants and needs, are within budget, and then you're going to tell us which ones you actually like. We'll provide feedback, but more importantly, and this is an important piece, is we're actually going to go out to those properties, we're going to check them out, and we're going to do a video walkthrough tour. Whether we do that through the format of a FaceTime, or what I really like to do is actually film a video from the outside around the neighborhood, and then of course on the inside of the home. Now, what we do a lot for our clients is really not showing you how beautiful the home is, but showcasing things that you wouldn't know unless we specifically called it out when we're actually there on your behalf. For example, if you're shopping in Ewa, depending on what parts of Ewa that you're in, you most likely will be in a flight path. And it's really important to understand where exactly your home is located based on that flight path, because we want you to be aware that there may be planes that are flying over. Now, a lot of these homes are built with that in mind, double wall construction, dual pane windows. So once you're inside, you don't hear much, but some places you do a little bit more than others. And we want to make sure that we call these things out. Or when we walk around the property, we notice that there's some foundational spalling. Might be something to call out. Or that there's no gutters, and we're seeing that there is some wear and tear coming from the yard, that maybe water is running into the foundation. These are things that we want to call out that you wouldn't see if we were just running a video like this and going, look at the beautiful open concept kitchen. Or if you look across the street and you don't see it in the photos, but there's actually a homeless camp across the street. These are some of the things that you really want in your agent to call out, not telling you how beautiful the house is. You saw the photos in the listing. You already know it's beautiful, but it's about the area that's super important to understand. And that's what we really help our clients with when we do our virtual tours, is not only looking at the property itself, looking around the property. What we also do is we do a full analysis on the property and crunch the numbers. So once we actually fall in love with the property, we look on the outside of the property, we will do a full analysis and show you the numbers of what we believe the true value of that property is. So that's for a whole nother video showing you how we do that, but that is something that we also do for our clients. Okay, now we get to the 30 to 45 day mark. At this point, you should be getting close to starting to put in offers. Now we've kind of done some virtual tours, we did analysis on properties, we start getting comfortable with the numbers, and then we start submitting offers on your behalf. Now, of course, we're gonna walk you through that process, what that looks like. But when you're about the 30, 45 day mark, that's about the length of time the transaction takes. It's usually about 30 to 45 days. So that is an option where you can start submitting offers. So right when you get boots on the ground, you can move right into your home. Now, important things to keep in mind when it comes to that timeline is that HHG is probably not gonna show up with your stuff for at least 2 to 3 weeks, sometimes a bit more. So you may be moving into a beautiful big home and you got no furniture and you're sleeping on a mattress, air mattress nonetheless. So what I generally like to suggest, even though 30 to 45 days, a lot of people want to move right in, is maybe delay it a little bit where you're starting to put in offers actually when you get boots on the ground. This is kind of my secret hybrid solution, is that we're actually looking at homes, we're getting a vibe for the area. Unless the perfect home presents itself when you're 30 to 45 days out, it might be more beneficial to actually get boots on the ground or get under contract and close after you get boots on the ground. So you actually feel and see the area. And God forbid, if you need to pull out of the deal because you're like, oh yeah, I'm allergic to cats and I can smell cats in here, I'm lighting up. I'm not allergic to cats. I would of course try to smell it, but I can't always tell. These might be some different things where it might actually be beneficial where you actually close closer to the end of your TLA. So maybe you get to live in that hotel with your family for a little bit and live that Waikiki lifestyle before you move into your new home. This is kind of generally my hybrid solution when it comes to timelines. It's actually better. Don't cut it too short. Don't do it too early. It's kind of nice to be somewhere in the middle where you can actually check out the home, check out the neighborhood in person before actually closing on this property. So again, reach out to us when it comes to timelines, something we can explore, but sometimes the inventory doesn't match the timelines. You might have this perfect home and you're like, I got to close on this now because if I let it go, it's going to be gone and then that home's gone. So it just depends on the situation. Okay guys, well that pretty much wraps it up. I'm actually heading to a showing right now for a client who's gonna be purchasing a property sight unseen. We're gonna film it. We're gonna give them all the insights, details, the good things, but more importantly, the bad things. And if you are in a situation like this, you're PCSing out here, or maybe you're relocating and you're not gonna be able to be here, we'd be happy to be that agent to give you that honest opinion. So if you have any questions, you wanna chat with us, I got my contact information right here, or feel free to book a call with us with the link down below. With that being said, I'm Patrick Longley. Hope you guys have a beautiful day. I'll talk to you soon. Aloha.